I'm Aaron Michael Ritchie.
I'm Cody May.
And this is the Colorado Author Interview Circle. And today we're talking with Dean Wyant, who is, I think you're a legend in the Colorado book circle, the Colorado book community.
A different circle, not this circle.
Not this circle, but the circles interweave.
The circles make a bigger circle. And
it's like the grid. What is
like the Olympics?
Yes. No, but there's like a math term. Insert math term here.
Oh, yeah.
So, because how long did you sell? Because you were a bookseller at Broadway Book Mall for years and years.
Still am. It's been 11 years, I think.
wow.
Selling books.
Well, it was at the Denver Book Mall
Over
before
a
that, and then they
decade.
closed, and then it turned into the Broadway Book Mall. Yeah.
And Broadway Book Mall, as the local community knows, is Ron and Nina's store.
Right.
And they rent out shelving
Shelf space.
to different, and then that's how they kind of keep it. It's a great business model.
It is. It's been real successful.
So what got you into book selling in the first place?
I amassed a collection of books that was a little out of control.
Oh,
So
yes.
when I hit 10,000, I decided it was time to start selling.
10,000.
Yeah. So I sold off about 8,000 books over the year. Plus, I buy and sell.
Did you
all the
ever
time.
have a book that you put out but you hope didn't sell?
Yes. More than once. And I've sold some that I wish I hadn't sold. But it's pretty rare, but it has happened.
Man, that's great. No, because now you were transitioning from you're a bookseller, you're a bibliophile
Yes.
because you love to read.
Yeah.
Bibliophile.
Bibliophile.
That's
fine.
the actual term. It's funny, but it's the term.
It's not like bibliography.
Well, no, it's like something else.
That's very
Speaking
different.
of Lolita again, let's.
Edit. We're not talking about dolphins.
I'm not editing this.
Don't talk about dolphins. No, so because now you're a part of Hex Publishers.
Right.
Hex Publishing.
Publishers.
Hex Publishers, and Hex is publishing. They're doing some remarkable stuff. I feel very lucky to be involved just this much. They publish a couple of my stories.
More than that.
No, just so tell us a little about Hex and how kind of Hex started.
Originally, Josh got the rights back to one of his novels that he had written.
Josh Viola.
Josh Viola, yeah.
Who couldn't be here with this season, but will
Unfortunately.
be next
season,
Yeah,
hopefully.
next
year.
Yeah.
Season 3. We have to have a cliffhanger at the end of this season.
Oh, who shot Aaron?
That's
Oh.
right.
I shot Aaron.
Oh, okay.
Someone off screen.
There we go. Yeah, so Josh wanted to originally republish his story because he wasn't real happy with how it came out in his book, Bane of Yodo. So that just never really happened. It just kind of progressed into, let's do an anthology, let's do a horror anthology, and authors, once you ask someone to write with us, and it was just like a series of events that took place, and it worked out.
Well, it was great. I mean, for me as an author, it was great editing. It was great cover art. It was great marketing. So Diapers Unhinged was
Yes.
ooh, it's
Oh,
go
God.
close.
I can put it on the side.
So creepy.
Aaron
put it on
Lovett
the
did the art.
All right.
Oh, Aaron Lovett is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kidnap him and put him in my basement and have him draw for me.
Don't say that. on
Not too
camera.
creepy.
Not too creepy. But yeah. So I mean, as an author, it was so great to work on such a great project.
It was fun,
And so now, because Hex now is doing Blood Business,
right?
which is a crime anthology,
Exactly.
and then they're also doing a cyberpunk anthology.
Cyberpunk will be out this year, and the other one will be out next year.
Yeah, so these are some great, I mean, and local authors and also some, famous authors,
Right.
internationally known
International.
Yeah.
Yeah, national and international, and local.
and local.
Got a little bit of everything. Yeah.
And then they pulled me out of the gutter and
Dragged
gave
you
me a
off.
couple bucks
Oh,
at the methadone clinic.
I had to beg them. I didn't want to do it.
No, so tell us about, because yours was one of the first stories I read,
Uh-huh.
and it was.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh no, it was so.
Is it
It was
twisted? I haven't read
so creepy. It was so good. It's probably my favorite outside of my own.
Well, yours is the best.
And Mario Acevedo.
Mario's is a little over the top.
That's my favorite short story
good,
he's written.
Good humor. It's
with
fantastic.
with the alien,
Oh, uh-huh.
the herd.
Oh, that one.
That one's creepy.
Because he has two stories in there. But, yeah.
One's funny and one is
Right. Right.
wrong in so many different
It
ways.
is, yeah.
But tell us about your story. Now, your story is about a heroin addict
Prostitute, heroin addict. She's a very nice girl.
who has the wrong John.
She comes home with the wrong guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And needles are involved.
Needles are involved.
So where did that idea come from?
I tried to come up with something that I know most people are afraid of, other than, snakes and spiders and whatever. I thought, wow, man, a lot of people are afraid of needles. What could I do with needles? And then I had this idea, what if a needle gets in your arm and it starts moving and you can't stop it? You can watch it crawl through your veins and there's nothing you can do as it's moving. So that's where it came from. It is so bad, isn't it?
Oh my
And then
God.
that's just the beginning, yeah.
That's just the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and so Josh, you and Josh, so you wrote the first draft and then Josh
Right.
edited
Right,
and
I
added
came-
his
I
own
came-
space.
Yeah, I came up with the idea, and then I wrote it, and then gave it to Josh, and he went through it and rewrote it. We went back and forth and back and forth. He just made it better every time he worked on it. Yeah, it came out really good.
Yeah, it's really a good story.
I like it.
Now you're working with one of the season 2 authors that we did was Mark Stevens.
Yes.
And
Lucky.
he is
He's
He was
amazing.
awesome. He was
he's
a great
quite
interview.
the guy.
He is amazing. Yeah,
My
He's
God.
amazing. He's fun to work with. Yeah.
So what is it like working? Because this is the second author you're working with. What are kind of what do you kind of like?
Wow, it's a lot different. It's a lot different working with Mark. We've met and we just bounce ideas around and he writes by hand. He's one of those people that writes by hand.
I do
So-
too.
So he's
Sick
scratched.
people.
Yeah,
Sick,
that's
sick
not right.
people. That's not
So he writes all the notes down when we meet. We talk, and then he has me start something. I start it, send it to him. He fixes it. He adds a little bit to it, and then I go back through it and make a few changes and add more to it and send it back to him. We go back and forth, and I just did an ending and then turned it over to him, and he'll completely go through it and mix it. Yeah, it's fun.
Do you find it easier? Because I'm co-writing three scripts right now for the screen
Uh-huh.
with some other people. Do you find it easier or harder or just different?
I actually like it. It's good to have somebody else to bounce everything back and
It
forth.
is.
And then when they say something or they see something, you know how it is when you write, you do things you don't even realize you're doing.
right.
That's true.
So you need that extra set of eyes
Yeah.
to, yeah. And when you have somebody that's that good, like Mark Stevens or Josh, it really helps.
Yeah, these are consummate
They are.
professionals.
They're
Right.
very good. Yeah.
And I co-wrote a story with Jason Evans. We've been writing lesbian superhero stories, and
There you
they're
go.
awesome.
Cool.
And so I wrote this terrible ending, but I didn't kind of know what to do with it, right? So I wrote this terrible ending and I sent it to Jason, and he rewrote it. And thank you, Jason Evans.
Made better.
Made much better. So what's
It
the?
happens.
So can you give us just give us a hint of the story that's in Blood Business? Just a hint.
The one that's in Blood Business, it's about a homeless vet who is damaged from an IED, has no reason to live, not into drugs or alcohol, but has no reason to live, and happens to be a woman. And she decides to kill herself, and as she's going to jump off a bridge, she discovers a dead body.
Oh my God.
And in an alley in Denver, and she doesn't, the cops show up and they're not very interested because it's a homeless bomb. and,
Sure.
So she kind of takes on trying to find out who the killer is.
Wow.
This is a short story?
That
Yeah.
sounds great.
What? How many pages? How did you fit that?
It's only 3,000 words.
Yeah, they want to.
4,000 words.
That's one of the things.
So it's
Is
just
Josh is
fast-paced.
really like short,
Yeah,
which is nice.
it's
'cause
nice.
Sometimes
Uh-huh.
short stories, especially when you have novelists writing short stories.
Right. That's two different
Yeah.
creatures for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
So I like the short.
Yeah, yeah. It's so
3,000 words.
yeah. It was
Get
pretty
to
good.
it.
I asked Mark if he would do it with me. I thought for sure he'd just laugh me off, but he's like, "Yeah, sure, come up with an idea, a concept, and we'll go with it." I was like, "Oh, you want me to come up with it?" So,
That's the hardest
yeah,
part.
that's the hard part, but I did. Yeah,
Wow.
So,
No, and
What's your
that's a lesson is to always go for the no, because you never know if if you never asked Mark, he wouldn't have.
Exactly.
he
I
would
was
never-
surprised. Yeah. And then the second story, another opportunity came up, and he asked me to continue with the same character 'cause-
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
That's
then-
nice.
So the other story we have coming is gonna be the same.
There's a movie by Cassie Lemons, I love her. She's a writer director called The Caveman's Valentine. I think it's about a homeless guy who's mentally ill. He's a mentally ill homeless man who is investigating a series of murders.
The homeless man is?
The homeless man is,
Nice.
but he's not all. It's called The Caveman's Valentine because he lives in
Interesting.
Central Park like a caveman,
Interesting.
and it's I love that movie.
Very
So okay, we're almost at time.
Okay.
And so you're writing now as a bookseller, now that you're writing stories,
Right.
has it changed the way you sell books or see books?
It's changed how I read books. That's for
Really?
sure.
Yeah.
I read with a more critical eye. Sometimes that's not so.
That's not so good.
You know, when it's just for entertainment, you don't notice a lot of that. Now there's things that's like, oh, why'd they do that? You know.
Yeah.
That I've seen. But as a bookseller, it hasn't changed much as a bookseller. You know, the things that are popular are still popular. There's, it's about selling. So you have to find the things. And I deal mostly with classics and stuff like that. So those are always going to be.
Always are going to be.
Hemingway is
Yeah.
always going to sell.
Yeah.
Or Little Women.
Vonnegut. Yeah, exactly.
I'm reading Louisa May Alcott's Little Women, and
It's-
I'm adoring it. But as a writer, I look and I see all the mistakes.
Yeah, that's what
And-
happens.
Yeah.
I love classics.
Not mistakes, but because in spite of the spite of her very particular way of writing,
Mm-hmm.
the book still is just shined with so
Mhm,
much passion.
mhm.
Yeah.
So.
And then you have Charles Dickens, who got paid by the word, so we stretch.
Dude, I
it
read
out.
Bleak House.
Yeah.
I read Bleak House when I was on trains.
David
I was
Copperfield. Yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
You read. You
I
read.
tried.
Dude, Bleak
It's
House.
just sitting on my shelf now.
I have ink stains from the court case. PTSD. Well, thank you so much, Dean,
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thanks for inviting me.
This has been the Colorado Author Interview Circle. I'm Aaron Michael Ritchie.
I'm Cody May.
And stay
Be
sexy,
cheesy,
Denver.
We're never gonna get that right.